Good morning. I've just received my first Insight and Wisdom Journal for 2021. Arrived yesterday, just in time, which is great. So I'm big into self-coaching, self-healing from the inside out. And this is my little knowledge, insight and wisdom journal. So what I do every morning is when I wake up, I make myself a fresh cup of tea, come out onto the balcony, onto the edge of the jungle. Just relax for a second or two, enjoy the sound of the birds, of which there are plenty here. And of course, cat cuddles in the morning is always very important to me. But getting back to the jungle, getting back to self-coaching. Self-coaching for me can be a bit of a manic process, to say the least. And when I mean manic, I mean that once I get into writing, once I get into the flow, my writing becomes a bit chaotic. So you can see it starts to get a bit, in places it will get almost unlegible, which is good, which is exactly what I want. So this is, you can see the size, this is like the perfect journaling size for me. It's a nice little book I picked up, nearly finished though. I think I probably go through one journal a month. So what I will do is I will take the snippets of wisdom out of this one, which are messy, a bit chaotic, and I will pop them into this smaller one, which is tiny. Sorry, I don't know the exact sizes. It's got a lovely little thread on it. God, I love stationery. I love new stationery. I was saying to a friend of mine, it's like having a fresh pair of sheets. Yeah, so it's a much smaller book, but I can then pop in here the deep knowledge, insight and wisdom onto each page cleaner, and probably do some artistry around it as well. But self-coaching has become a very important part of how I manage my emotions, how I get deep insight into how I feel. It's a practice that I'm going to really encourage you over the next 4 weeks to embrace. I'm going to show you how I self-coach myself, which you can then use the same structure and self-coach yourself on different issues that are arising for you in the morning or have arisen for you the previous day. So you can go much deeper on those issues and find out emotionally what's playing out for you, rather than being left in the energy of those emotions. It will really help you get clarity, make sure you're going in the right direction. It will really help you get into momentum and take action much more quickly, because you'll always be taking action on the right things. So in your conscious coaching reflective toolbox, I'm going to show you how to self-coach. Now, of course, if you can be your own self-coach, your own guide, you're going to move much quicker than you would if you were working with somebody one-to-one, because you know intuitively the questions you need to ask yourself, the honest and deep questions you need to ask yourself, so you can get out of your own way quicker. If you're working with somebody that, while they may hold you more, accountable for taking you outside of your own story, you're the one that has the knowledge around, are you going to let yourself off? are you going to ask yourself the honest questions? Because it's just you, a pen and a piece of paper. And what we want to do by doing this every day is that we want to start bringing the unconscious into the conscious, so we can get a real sense of what is keeping us in flow and what's taking us out of flow. Again, it just makes sure that, we're in a great energetic space, that we're not reacting from emotions, that we're not reacting from habit, that we have a fresh perspective and we can link into and connect with our deep knowledge, insight and wisdom. I have had some of my biggest aha moments, but more importantly, I think for me it's really about the direction, making sure that I'm heading in the right direction, and I can share that knowledge, insight and wisdom with my community, with my tribe, with my pack. For journaling, it doesn't matter whether it's just A4 pieces of paper, whether you have a book. I like to have books because I can keep everything in one place and I can follow the process. I can read back through the journal. Mind you, it's not always easy to read sometimes because it is so chaotic. Hey, PP. P is short for ghost. P is a Thai name. Ghost is the English name. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's just, if you haven't got a journal at the moment, just get some pieces of paper, start writing, start asking yourself questions, start having a conversation, deep, meaningful conversation with yourself. And then you can build up layer on layer and layer as you progress.